No, I didn't. So let's try again. I didn't push the record button. There is the mutant duck goose. We can see him along with his fellow travelers here, most of whom are goose geese. And away we go. We're now going to back out. So I'm not clear how much, if any, of the last 10 minutes or so, or 5 minutes or so, I was actually recording. Probably none of it. This is what happens when you have even the simplest devices defeat you when your short-term memory goes off on the blitz here. Anyway, I'm stopping for a moment. There we go. Give people a sense of privacy. Don't know why, but I certainly wouldn't want some dope pointing a camera at me. Anyhow, we go up the hill into the small wood here. We go from sun to shade. We hear dogs and we hear the geese. The dogs see it as an opportunity. They usually do. And so the geese aren't too happy at the moment. They're squawking. I don't know if we can hear that or not, but that's what they're doing. Anyhow, on we walk up the hill slightly. The sun comes back in at the top here and will be with us for most of the rest. Here is another on-spec house special. They look like they're back working on it again. So maybe they've sold it. Can't imagine any other reason they would. Anyway, it's three sort of giant townhouses where once there was an old abandoned house. I'm sure whoever sold it to them made a good dollar on that. It was right about the height of the real estate bust, or excuse me, bubble. Anyhow, we're on top of the lake here, on top of the dike. Very Dutch. We can see the lake off to our right, so we're at the other end now. We were at the first end where the little fishies might have been if we had seen them, but we didn't. And now we're up on top of the dike, watching and tripping as we go. Here we are. We're walking almost directly into the sun, so this will be an interesting test of how the lighting goes. Well, I don't see any heron here. Sometimes there's another heron. There's at least two, maybe three, that occupy this place. There's a green heron and a blue heron, and then there's one that's sort of in between, a kind of white heron, I guess you might call him. And he was there yesterday, but he's not here today. So I'm just watching the world go by. You can see here, as we look out over the lake, this is the whole lake. There's the other end of it, by the spillway, and on we go. So this is about one half. What I've walked here so far is about one half of my usual walk in a morning. I usually start it in the woods behind the condo and finish here at the lake, but today I'm just doing the lake, just mainly to test out the recording capabilities of this ultra high-tech, ultra HD flip video camera, which I purchased this week primarily for use in shooting other equally uninteresting bits of scenery in the lower 48 states and other points east, west, north, and south. My hope is to be able to use it, a lot of it, in but I'm going to probably have to get another hard drive to use it in Australia, so I can make, when I'm over visiting them, I can make a lot of films of us and, you know, bring them back so Mom can see. I've never been much, and I hope I don't drop it like I did my digital camera. Probably not. But in any event, I've never been keen on the digital photography, for photography generally, because it's static. I mean, you really, yes, you can have shots and say, oh yes, I was there, or oh yes, I wasn't there, but I think there's much to be said for motion. But equally, you know what, I never cared for video cameras, the old style, because, you know, to have to lug something like that around, even though they're a good deal smaller now than they used to be, the full featured jobs are still quite heavy to have to lug around along with all their equipment, whereas this is about the size of an old transistor radio, basically. We're going up away from the lake now, back towards the condo, through the path, up the hill. In any event, this is just part of testing things out as we go, seeing how much we can record as various bugs bite me. That's what we used to say when I was a kid. Anyway, on we go. As you can see, we're now up at the top of the path, or nearly. This is again another portion of the suburban temple that is Burke Cove. The lake is, to my way of thinking, the only saving grace of living in a place like this. At least you can go see the water. It would be better, of course, to be on the water, and have more of your vices catered to. And that's why I miss Amsterdam. But anyway, in the meantime, we get a sense of where we are as we go. Here's a car turning. Exciting. Very exciting. Ah, here's Sergio, the man from who helps around to work things out. Zipping along here. Morning. And there he goes, whizzing along in his golf cart. Now we're back at the fountain, walking along, having a good time, I guess. Back on the path, and around by the, as we go, around by the fountain. And that's again in full sun, so and the colors look a little bit bleached out, at least in the viewfinder. Well, let's see. Anyhow, as we continue our little stroll here back towards the nerve center of the digital empire, Cove Landing Road. Here you can see more fine townhomes or condominiums. These are apartment style, 2-story, 3-story condos. And there you see, that's the building I live in, right there. We have to go up and around though to get to it. Well, we could, of course, go straight up. Let's do. We're going to go straight up the hill, just for the hell of it. Okay, there we go. It's a big hill, and there we are at the front entrance. Crepe myrtles in bloom. Doing pretty well, really. Don't know if you can see it with the sun. And that's it. We're at the front door, 5837. Our new door. I'm going to cut it off right here.